Up or down? I have no idea. Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, today I am meeting up with Timon Krause. Is that how you pronounce your name? Timon Krause. If you don't know who he is a superb mentalist from Holland. He's a Penn and Teller fooler. And I have a feeling that he's also a great dude. He's here in Iceland and we're going to meet up. So we'll find out soon, okay? That's the place. Do you have a tip for me?
Yes.
No, do you have a tip for my audience, I mean?
Hey everyone, it's Timon. How's it going? I just had the pleasure of meeting the wonderful Arnulfur, which is really cool. And he asked me if I had any tips for you guys on performance or on scripting. And actually the two tips I have for you do revolve around scripting. Shit, I'll start over. No, what I'm gonna say.
We're starting over. Timon.
Do you have any tips for your audience?
Yeah, you have any tips for my audience?
Hey guys, Timon here. I just met the wonderful Arnulfur who asked me if I had any tips for you on performance, and I have two. The first one is revolving around script writing, and it's basically that. Whenever I perform a new performance piece, and you have to know that I mainly perform on stage, script writing is really, really important for me. So I want to make sure that I have scripted everything through from the start to the end. Now that might seem like it's going to make everything very, very rigid, but actually it gives me a lot of liberty, because once I know where my beats are, I know how I'm going to give the instructions, I've straightforwarded everything, I know what my premise is, I can then improvise on top of it. But because I've rehearsed and scripted everything perfectly and to the point, I also know that when I have, like, excuse the French, a shit day, I can bring everything to completion with the perfect beats that I need to have in my theater show. I know that everything is going to go in the perfect rhythm, even if I have like a headache and I don't feel like performing. While if I feel great, it's going to be even better because I have the solid construct underlying it and I can improvise on top of that, which works for me. The way that I script write is with a wonderful script writer together. I write the first idea. It's always important to me that I write the first idea, I write the premise, I send it over to him, then he goes through it. He goes like, nah, this joke doesn't work, this is bad, this is good, let's streamline it. And it just goes back and forth, back and forth. At some point I play it, then we rewrite it, and it just continuously evolves like that. One important thing to understand about script writing is that it never ends. We're going to be performing a theater tour, and I've toured last year, and I noticed that every script was evolving almost after every show still, because I realized what works, I realized what doesn't work. It's another advantage of having a solid script, because if something suddenly happens, you improvise on top of it and it works really well and it hits like a bomb. I know exactly where I deviated from my normal script, so I can pinpoint exactly what worked and why it worked. Now that's tip number one. Tip number two is the way on how I evolve or rehearse an act. And it's actually, I'll show you, just drew it down for you, it's this triangle. It's write, rehearse, play, write. Write, rehearse, play, write. Now this triangle happens at every stage of the performance. At the very start, I have an idea, I'm going to write it down, I'm going to write the script, I'll write the premise, maybe even the bare bones only. Then I hit the floor. It's important. You can't over-perfect something and you can't destroy something by taking too long and trying to perfect it. You have to hit the floor at some point, start rehearsing it. You're going to get new ideas when you're trying to rehearse it. Then you go out, you play it, you have to try out your stuff. It's probably going to crash and burn. Maybe it's going to be a massive success. No matter what happens, once you've played it, you know what works and what doesn't work. You go back to the writing table, you write it again, but this time at a higher level, like a better niveau. You go back to rehearsing and you actually rehearse on a high level, and you go back to playing and you play it with a better quality. It just keeps going like that. This triangle applies to a full theater show, it applies to a single act, even applies to only a single sentence, where you write down the one joke, you rehearse it, then you play it, you see if it works. If it doesn't work, you keep going like that. And this triangle, write, rehearse, play, is not only at the start of your rehearsal period, it has to be there every single time you perform something. Write, rehearse, play. That's for me the one way that is most effective to continually evolve an act and make sure that eventually it's going to be as streamlined and as wonderful as I want it to be for my audiences, because that's the end goal. You want to give your audiences something profoundly and truly magical, and I think as such you have, as a magician, sort of responsibility almost to give them the most wonderful magic that you can give them, and this is one viable approach for me. So I hope those 2 tips, really script it through, and the rehearsal triangle work for you. Thank you. Speak soon. Cheers.